Hey, it's me Katie, welcome back to Steal the Spotlight. Today we have a good old-fashioned thrift haul, which I'm quite excited about. I used to film these fairly frequently, but constant comparison is absolutely crippling, and I just felt like a lot of other people had a lot better finds to share than what I do. But don't get me wrong, you can still find some gems. It takes some patience around here, but sometimes if you're willing to hold out for long enough, you will be blessed. For example, I managed to pick up one of these little moto jackets. These have been trendy for like, what, a year and a half at least? And it's taken me this long to find one at the thrift store. I love that it's in this soft blush color, fits in perfectly with my wardrobe. Honestly, this one was just originally from Valley Girl, so it's not the best quality, but I kind of almost prefer it because I feel like I can actually move in it. A lot of the motorcycle jackets at the op shop that I've tried on previously are super padded, and I just feel so constricted in them that I know I would never actually get any wear out of them. So I'm very thankful that I found a much more realistic option that works for me. The other item I picked up there was this little summer skirt. It's giving me very Mandy Moore and her minions in Princess Diaries at the beach scene, which I guess explains why I was drawn to it, because apparently I need a reference to justify everything. And kind of surprisingly, I actually managed to pick up those two items for under $10, which is a good reminder not to buy into the marketing ploy that so many of the Australian op shops are trying at the moment. They seem to be revamping their stores to make them more aesthetically pleasing and adding in a vintage revival section. Where I got these was the prime example of that. It was all over my TikTok For You page, North Lakes Lifeline Superstore. I will admit it does look Instagram worthy in there, but the vintage section is not actually curated at all. It's the same stuff that you would find in any other op shop, just with insanely exaggerated prices. But after being very disappointed, I realized they just had a couple of regular racks out the back, and that's where I found these two items, which honestly were much cuter than anything they had in the vintage section. Recently, it has come to my attention that I have a knitwear addiction. I do. To be fair though, I think they're all giving off a very different vibe. I think my favorite of the bunch though has to be this little sheer crocheted dress slash tunic top. If styled in a particular way, I could totally see this working for an Effie wardrobe from Skins. Just a great and also versatile layering piece, because I could totally see this working for a softer, coquette inspired outfit as well. And this is totally another piece that could work for that sort of aesthetic. It's just a little throw over short sleeve cardigan, but I really like the details on it. But now something that plays more into my tacky side, because I could totally see this on Fran Fine. It is this bright red turtleneck with this little London decal on it. I know the Union Jack tops have been super popular, or even like the Brazil merch tees as well. So I thought this was a nice little variation on that type of trend. This was on the heavily discounted rack, so I'm sure a lot of people passed it by thinking it was insanely ugly, but I like it. I know a lot of people online like to claim that sweater vests are past their use by date, but as someone who has loved them dearly for many, many years, I'm not gonna give up on them that quickly, and I loved this purple little argyle find. I think the problem that people have with certain trends when they reach this insane height of popularity, they can only associate it styled like that, but that's not the case. You can get creative and switch it up. When I see this, my brain doesn't instantly go to 2020 with a tennis skirt. It actually goes to Anna from the OC, who will forever be one of my all-time fashion icons and honestly shaped me into the fashion girly I am today. We also have just this super basic open knit jumper. I'm always on the lookout for these when I go to the op shop. Such a good staple to have, really good for layering, but also you can just throw it on and it effortlessly looks cool, especially if you're into that sort of Akubi style. To finally round out a knitwear segment, we have this interesting cow neck neutral sweater. I think I was drawn to it because there was something comforting about the fact that it reminded me of something my mum would have worn when I was a kid, but also I could totally see myself styling this up to be somewhat Hachi inspired. Honestly, I'm starting to think that it's impossible for me to go a video without mentioning at least one Aizawa character as reference. And that sweater I picked up for only $2. Literally the entire store is $2. It's an independently run op shop and the owner is the nicest person. So if you guys do end up shopping there, please make sure that you are actually donating back there as well, because she does so much for the community. She's so grateful for any donations, but the space is quite small, so I don't think she can take like big items on board, but there should be a list online somewhere. But trust and believe, it is jam-packed full of clothes. So these are the couple of things I picked out. I'm officially obsessed with this kind of tapestry vest. I've been eyeing off those tapestry heels that I think I originally saw on Ashley from Best Dress a long time ago, but I feel like this has kind of cured that urge for me, and honestly I probably will get more wear out of it as well because statement shoes can be kind of tricky. I couldn't help myself when I saw this. I had to get in on the pirate core action. I mean, hello, I am an 18-y after all. But I mean, obviously this doesn't actually look like anything they would wear. If anything, it's giving more TXT concept photos, but it's a cute kind of boho piece for summer, and I am keen to do a video dressing like different trending aesthetics. So I think pirate core will be on the list. Let me know if there's any in particular you want to see. Some of you will already be familiar with this dress if you've seen my rom-com video, which if you haven't, please go and watch it. It's actually one of my favorite videos out of recent uploads, but sadly didn't perform so well. Another really pretty find I had there was this vintage lingerie set. I'm not 100% sure yet how I'm going to style this sheer long slip, but what I do love is this lace robe that it came with. The only thing is the ties at the front have that old age sort of staining to them, but it'll be an easy fix just to replace the ribbon. And this is the sort of thing that I swear if they had it at the Lifeline Superstore, they would be charging 80 bucks for it. The last thing I picked up there, I don't know how many people are actually gonna like, but it is this button down. I found it really interesting how it's in this mesh fabric, and also just a really cool kind of scenic painting to it. Totally reminds me of the sort of thing like the cool art teacher would rock up in. And speaking of the fun art teacher, I also have some accessories that I feel very much fall into that category. First up is this knitted headband. Are you kidding me? This is absolutely adorable. You guys know I've been loving the flower hair accessories. I mean, come on. Sandy Liang Hu. This beaded belt my mum actually found for me. There's so many colors going on. Maximalist dream. The DIY decorated bag trend has been getting bigger recently, and I was so excited when I spotted this one, but then ended up being even more excited when I took it to the counter and the lady said she was the one who actually donated it. She had made it herself out of an old pair of jeans, but she just has a bag obsession and has way too many, so she had donated a few. As someone who never attends any events, did I really need a semi-formal dress? Probably not, but I tried it on anyway, and then I just couldn't leave it behind. I love this neckline. I think it's so flattering, and as big as my wardrobe is, I don't really have any fancy sort of clothes, I guess, so if an event does happen to pop up, at least now I do have an option. I'm currently debating whether or not this would be appropriate to wear to a wedding. I am clueless when it comes to occasion wear, so please leave your suggestions. I always thought it was kind of a no-no to wear black to a wedding, but the last couple I've been to, there's been at least 3 people wearing black. One of the op shops in my area usually have a pretty good selection of dead stock tights. This time I went a little bit outside my comfort zone and picked up these lace capri ones, which isn't something typically I would opt for because it gives very like 80s Madonna sort of styling, but recently I've been seeing a lot of these on TikTok with the lace trend coming in strong. So I just thought this would be a good opportunity to give it a go. And it is the sort of thing that does align with my typical sort of style, so hopefully I end up loving it. I feel like for the most part, I'm pretty good at being picky with what trends I think are gonna work for me personally, but every now and then I do crumble. I'm not too sure if I'm excited to put pockets all over my body. I don't know, maybe I'll leave that for like the post-apocalyptic girly styles. Okay, but how was I gonna leave behind this jacket for $8? And I do think there's ways that I can incorporate this into my own style, maybe create a little bit of juxtaposition in my looks. I guess it's more so if I tried to do this from head to toe, I'd feel a little bit uncomfortable and just not like myself. Trends are fun, but you still want to have some of you in there too, you know? I thought this little summer button down was so precious with the pink flower embroidery. Just something really simple but effective, and I do find myself gravitating towards these full-length tops rather than crop tops these days, so that is something I'm trying to focus on in my wardrobe at the moment, which is why I also picked up this halter top. I love the vertical stripe pattern, and this kind of like muted khaki green teamed with the pink is such a beautiful combo. I found this gorgeous baby pink top with the ruffled detailing. Again, another big trend at the moment. I swear every trend that's in right now has been in the past, so chances are you will find it at a thrift store. And then again with the ruffle trend, I also picked up this brown knee-length skirt. I'm not too sure what shoes I'm gonna pair with it, and actually if I paired it with the pink top, it's giving very Breakfast Club, but I don't think that's what I'm going to be going for. One thing about me is that I will always be a sucker for this blue denim with the white contrast stitch. It is just so crisp and the cut of this shirt is just adding to the whole fantasy. It is such a good fit. It somehow gives the illusion of being quite structured whilst actually being a super stretchy denim. I'm not really one for tags because I think I've mentioned this before, but literally like 80% of the op shop is made up of Millers, Katie's, Rockmans, so nothing to get excited about. But I do have a soft spot for Junk. They are a brand that used to be stocked at City Beach, and I remember it was one of my first ever big girl purchases when you don't have to shop in the kids section anymore. It was a really big deal to me, the denim skirt I got, so I always think of that when I see the tag. So that does bring us to the end of today's haul. Let me know what you think the best finds were. I'm always intrigued because often it ends up being the ones I least expected. This is also my last pre-filmed video, so hopefully I'll be back really soon with some career content. But if you've been missing out, I'm sure I've been posting over on Instagram and TikTok, so I'll either see you over there or see you here really, really soon. Bye!